Quarterback School live. Do it live. Do it right. Do it light. Little Monday edition. What day is it? July 1. If you're catching this wherever, whenever you are, we take July off over here. For no other reason, well, many reasons, but recharge, fire back up, and nobody really watches videos of football in July, at least on this channel. So we take this as a nice time to kind of revamp the studio, usually come back with a few upgrades. And when we come back in August, it's preseason. Camps are already going. We're into some videos. I've got some video ideas that I'm fired up for. Appreciate you guys checking in the chat. Let me know that this thing sounds all right, that I'm not talking to myself. And we're going to keep this thing real light, real short. And we're going to be off to enjoying our July. As always, never a better time to get a question in than early in one of these chats. So I appreciate you coming in and letting me know what you want to talk about. Hit that like button as you come into this thing as well. Appreciate that, Justin. Keep my hat kind of game on. It's funny. I got into like getting on certain email like lists just because I wanted to see how certain companies that I liked used email selfishly, so I could like hijack some of the ideas to use for this channel. And New Era was one of them. But that email marketing, it works too. Get some Padre hats. I definitely want to talk about, I'm sure not a lot of people want to talk about it here because this is a quarterback-centric channel, but if you listen to the Pivot podcast, which I occasionally listen to, and saw the Brandon Ayuk interview that came out last week, I would classify it as a nice way to put it as pretty, I would say, strange-ish on a few different levels. And that prompted me to then go want to watch some Brandon Ayuk specifically in the Super Bowl, just because the whole contract negotiation thing going on in there, and I don't love getting into, other people's pockets or things like that. But just the way everything was framed in that interview left me curious. So I went back and watched a lot of it and shared it, watched the whole game on for the Patreon community. I was actually going to do a YouTube video, but then I was like, I don't care that much about it. But I did think it was interesting because I thought he had some opportunities in the Super Bowl for some big plays. And it just, I probably thought going into it, it was more like his number wasn't called design-wise as much as he would like. And I think that there were some design opportunities that were there for him, and he just didn't get the ball. Now, again, I feel like I'm on record for a long time talking about potential things where Brock Purdy could continue to improve. And he's obviously a great player already, had great season, all that type of crap. But like, he misses some opportunities down the field, whether his arm's not ready to go for that yet, or he doesn't have that club or what. But there were opportunities for Ayuk down the field. And there were opportunities where he wasn't targeted, where he looked like he was potentially open earlier in the progression too. So I just thought it was interesting. Now, let's get into the chat. I see some Tua side in the chat. Eddie Dale Jr., can Justin Herbert ever surpass Mahomes to be one of the best quarterbacks in his division? I mean, sure. Can he? Sure. Will he anytime soon? I don't know. I mean, maybe. But I mean, Patrick Mahomes has put in what? Over half a decade now of being essentially the best. It's going to be hard to do anytime soon, but no reason why you wouldn't think that Herbert would have a lot more team success now. With Harbaugh, he might not enjoy working there, but they're going to win. Tubby Chili, appreciate it. Raiders. Jonathan Phillips, yo, JT, you think Alex Van Pelt is going to help Drake May be a Pro Bowler? I mean, if Drake May is a Pro Bowler, Alex Van Pelt will certainly be a reason why here, and while he's there. Do I think that like that partnership is special Pro Bowl material more than any other partnership? No. I don't know if that organization, that side of the ball, is set to do that. That's not putting any like ceiling on him. If he goes in there and has a great season I feel like every other person makes it to the Pro Bowl sometimes if guys start falling out or things like that at the end of the year. I guess I don't think of being a Pro Bowler in the same kind of upper echelon kind of conversation as kind of, top tier, top 10 guy, one of the best in the league. Those types of things is just not how I think about it. Yo, got some fresh faces in the chat. I appreciate it. What do you think about the quarterback situation in New York? I mean, besides for which one are we talking about? We're talking about the Giants, I imagine. What is the quarterback situation in New York besides Daniel Jones? Is there another option right now? I'm trying to think off the top of my head what the depth chart looks like. It's certainly not the Jets we're talking about, right? Although I'm getting a chuckle, and this is obviously not good for live like a live stream, but I'm thinking to videos that I've already started to prep for August, and there's one where I kind of obviously don't love doing ranking shows on this, and I stay away from like the top 32 starters or tiering those guys like that. But I am going to rank the starters for something like but through a lens that I think is fun, and that's why I'm giggling. Daniel Jones and Drew Lock, yeah, dog. I mean, yeah, good luck. No, I mean, that came out super glib, but like the answer is probably not on the roster right there. That's no shot. If those guys go in there and have great years and prolong that thing, I don't think there's anything we've seen so far from either of those guys that would make us feel like the answer is probably in the room right there. Jim H. Oh. To a side, it's not going to be a rank. It's going to be more like ingest than it is going to be like I'm never going to be like the ranking type guy. I just don't enjoy that kind of content. I don't want to make that kind of content, but it is going to be, this will make sense in a month or so when you see the video and realize, oh yeah, you had to think a little bit beforehand how you wanted to kind of like place the quarterbacks in the way that we're placing them. I know that's not great foreshadowing for you, but I think it'll be funny. I'm going to have fun making it. So hopefully in the past, when I've had fun making videos, they have translated to the audience that usually enjoys this channel. Michael, boom. Yeah. The Patreon videos for July, I'm in the middle of film one this morning. Some Dylan Gabriel will be kind of the backlog for what you'll get dripped out over the course of the month for the Patreon community this month. I'm having a lot of fun watching Dylan Gabriel, man. He really kind of opened my eyes at Elite 11, and so going back and watching him at Oklahoma has been pretty fun. I'm gonna try. We'll see how much time I get here the first like week or so of July to go watch the Penn State dude. I've had a bunch of people ask me about the Penn State guy. Can't think of what his name is right now. Is it Aller? I'm probably saying it wrong, but I finally got some film of that guy, so I'm going to go watch some Penn State at some point. So those two, Gabriel and the Penn State guy, will happen before the season. I'm not sure I will get to the Penn State dude in July, but I want to watch it before next season. So there you go, Michael. Appreciate the support as always, dude. Bobby Corsi, how do you think Miami will look offensively this year, scheme-wise? I mean, the same. Just continue to build on that perimeter timing anticipation game that they're able to do with the RPO world, I think. Oh, we got some Bear fans creeping into the chat. Appreciate you guys. Connor K. Ooh, Connor K doing his research. See what you got, Connor K. Your high school team used lots of pre-snap movement. How do you incorporate multiple shifts and motions without having super long and complicated play calls? It's a good question. The way that we did it was all of those shifts were just one word calls. So whatever we used to the way that I used to teach it, or the way that it makes sense to me, was always just like grammar syntax. Now people don't love talking about syntax, but syntax essentially just means word order. So excuse me. So the word order would be if there were a shift and a motion on the same play, it would be like shift, motion. Would that be right? Yeah. Shift, motion, formation, protection, play. So if there was no shift, you would just start with the motion. If there was no motion, you'd just start with the formation. So, and then I was just doing the signals on the sideline, so we were able to go fast. So essentially, you have to think backwards if you play on the perimeter. So I used to coach the tight ends. So the tight ends had a lot of movement because we had a lot of really smart tight ends, and we played a lot of like 13, 12, 22 personnel. So you would, whatever the shift is, then they would see the formation and they would basically start where they needed to get to that formation. So it's kind of like you basically start opposite. So you can have a lot of moving parts, but really you only have like one person move on the shift, one person move. You can only have one person move on the motion, but you teach the shifts. The shifts can be as many people as you want, as many moving parts as they can handle. So I always used to tell them, we can have as much fun with these shifts as you prove you can handle. So and then you build on it over the course of the year. So maybe the first, install, you put in one shift, one person movement with the tight end. Then the next one you have a 2 tight end shift. Then the next one you have a bunch shift. Then you have a quad shift. Then you have a everybody shift. Then you have a, and it just builds on it. And then you have a shift with a motion, or a shift motion. And now you're really killing people in high school, or at least in our area. Oh man, the kids nowadays would be very fired up. Oh, well, I already went past. I was about to say we got a certain number of viewers in the chat already, but I appreciate you guys as you come in, hit the like button, and we'll keep this thing cranking. Timothy Sanders, Oklahoma State QB analyst. I appreciate the channel. Been tuning in from the beginning. Would love to connect. Timothy, not hard to get a hold of. Appreciate the support on the channel, though. What are the expectations for? Why can I not say the name today? Authentic? Authentic? That was terrible. What are your expectations for Jaden Daniels in Washington in year one? My expectations are high. Not really. My expectations for him to play well are high. My expectations for them to be like, Super Bowl contender. I got it. Authentic. I like how you fought me through that. I think he's going to play really well. I think Cliff is going to probably do a really good job of making sure he plays well. And what I mean by that is not only have the stats to do well, but also, hopefully Cliff has grown and improved to be able to protect him a little bit better. I know I've said this at a few different either outlets or videos or lives or whatever, people's podcasts. But things I'm looking for Cliff as far as evolution and growth as a play caller is just the capacity to be more multiple. I think the modern game, both offensively and defensively, it has in the past it had shifted towards being more multiple. It was less like pro spread. Now it's everybody has everything, and the capacity to jump in and out of personnels, jump in and out of edges or flanks. Again, as a play caller, I always thought in flanks, and what that means is just what eligibles you have outside the tackles. So can Cliff incorporate more bigger bodies, tight ends, maybe a fullback, to protect the quarterback, to incorporate maybe a little bit more play action, protect them, block them up, as opposed to so many open edge, 10 personnel, 2x2 static stuff that I just think is dated, as opposed to like, what might have been in vogue, a decade ago. 5+ years ago. What else we got? Sam H. Penix and Lance's birthdays are 1 day apart. Oh, we got the birthday cops in here. Zach Wilson and Tom Brady share a birthday. Fun facts. Do you share a birthday with anyone? I think I share a birthday with Sean Connery, maybe. I don't know. Never thought about it. Coach Gray's in the house. Let's go. Hey, yo. Good to catch you before vacation. Did you let your QB in when coaching high school? Call audible or change the play call? No. No. I think maybe, so I, just to set the record in the context here, I was the head coach at high school for 3 years. One of those years was a COVID year. All 3 of those years had a different starting quarterback. So probably, I'm comfortable saying that if I would have had the same guy for probably multiple years, or, super fortunate to like 3 years, or got, a 4-year type guy, I think you probably have to grow into that if you're going to continue to push that position, that player. I was never in that situation. And I just, those guys never earned that kind of trust with me, nor did I think I was probably doing the team a service by letting them do stuff like that. So, no. But I'm not anti. I just was adaptive for us, and for us at the time, that wasn't going to work. Ben, I have not had the chance to watch it yet, but I like the idea of the BA Super Bowl analysis video. I appreciate that, Ben. I'm not sure, I did it as much just for me than I did necessarily like thinking it would be a good video to share. I think it's probably going to be a tough video to get through, just because there's not much that action. There's only so many times I can say he's a great high effort guy blocking well. I think there were levels of frustration that came across me and him and many people in that offense, actually, is the more you go back and watch it. I think that part of it was cool. Drake May is Jake Plummer. Tom Curran, pass reporter from Sam H. I think of Jake Plummer as a really good player. Didn't Jake Plummer come into the league and like light it on, not necessarily light it on fire, but have like a really good start, with that old school Shanny, naked keeper world, move the launch point, Jake the Snake. Like, I feel like he was almost like ahead of his time as far as the extend plays, creative guy. I think Drake May is, I acknowledge the fact that I never like studied or watched a significant amount of Jake Plummer all 22, other than like, if he was still in the league when I was in the league, watching like opponent film. But the thing I will be looking for, because like Drake May keeps coming up in it, and it might just be because Sam H loves Drake May, but the thing I will be looking for Drake May, if and when he gets a chance to play, because I think, isn't Brissett locked in to be the guy right now? Whatever. Drake May is going to play eventually. When he does, I will be looking for just the consistency of the accuracy. Can he control the ball as well as you see guys on Sundays control the ball? Because when I turned on his college film, I just saw wild inconsistencies that, in my opinion, lead to struggles on Sundays, being able to put the ball where you want consistently, and even really getting the opportunity to put the ball where you want on Sundays, because it's just, when you're skipping stones out there, sometimes you can, piss off some wide receivers, some tight ends, some backs. And I would imagine that would be the priority for shoring up the miss radius, everything tighter, everything cleaner, because all the windows are going to be tighter, everything's going to be harder. And so to think that it's going to get easier to throw it is probably not fair. So we'll see. That's what I'll be looking for if and when Drake May plays. If and when Drake May plays, I would absolutely imagine he's going to make his way onto the channel for sure. It'll be fun. Like, off the top of my head, the new guys in the league, I'm definitely going to be watching Caleb Williams on the channel, probably Jaden Daniels, because I expect those two guys to play right out the gate, and then whoever else is the next one, right? Like, I would imagine, Bo Nix probably has got a pretty good chance to be the week 1 starter. Probably JJ McCarthy here pretty soon. I don't know. Maybe Sam Darnold goes in there and balls out. We'll see. John Idion. X and O levels versus cover 2 man. Wow, I can't believe I sorted out that all caps. That was looked like a math equation. The hunt/dig can converts from an in to an out. Nah, hell no, dog. Is this as the primary or to clear for the short in route? Can convert to an in or an out versus 2 man. So, okay. So you're saying in a levels concept, the inside slot player has like a intermediate in. The outside player has a 5-yard in or short in. So that's the levels part of it. Verse 2 man, can the inside intermediate in or basic convert to an out? I've never had it convert to an out. I've definitely seen Peyton Manning explicitly do this, up and down the field versus teams that I was on. They had some sort of either signal or word that he just told the number 2 to run it out versus 2 man. And I don't know if it was an out or a corner. He kind of threw it like an out, but it could have been a corner that he just brought flat. So yeah, I would absolutely bake that into the process, but I wouldn't make it. I don't, no shade to you if you're a wide receiver or tight end. I don't love living in a world where those guys have to make a lot of downfield reads. I know some systems like vertical choice, and I've seen other people that I really respect in the football world give coverage reads to wide receivers. I think that's really hard to do. I think it's a lot easier to just like look over and say like out or whatever code word, Okie, whatever code word you want for that, as opposed to, trusting the wide receiver to like read the coverage on the move, on the fly, and the quarterback and you to be on the same page. That's just a lot harder. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. Tua aside, you've been going crazy in here, being patient. I appreciate it. Tua aside, you're actually a Josh Allen fan. I got you. What do you think Tua is actually worth? Tua is worth whatever the market costs for a, quarterback that can run the offense that they're running at a very high level. I don't know. Let's just do the mental math here. If you're Mike McDaniels, is it McDaniel or McDaniels? I feel like I always say it wrong. I think it's McDaniel. And you have played so well at the start of these seasons, and your team is cooking in good weather. What are you doing different to make the outcome different at the end of the year? Are you doing everything you can to get home field advantage? Probably, but so is everybody else. Are you building some sort of like scaffolding in the offense to be able to thrive in some way in the elements, just because you're going to have to in that division, regardless of your, at the end of the year? Is Tua the guy to do that? I don't think there's any disqualifications about why Tua couldn't. I think he's continued to gotten better. I think he proved that he could stay healthy last year. Now you got to do it again. But those types of things, to me, I think you got to pay guys like that. Terradome. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody who's subscribed as well. Don't talk about that a lot, but if you see, should I mention it here? Probably not. I don't do enough lives to make people be members to like comment I just don't do enough lives. Maybe that changes in the fall. I say that every year and it doesn't change, just because I usually the cost benefit for me is, do I want to do a live or do I want to do another video that I know, more people will probably watch the video than will the live. Now, I enjoy the live and it's fun to do the interaction and it's fun to have the questions and all that kind of stuff. But regardless, appreciate you guys subscribing across all platforms. And I appreciate you checking out the new website. If you haven't checked out the new website, there's a pretty cool feature where you can ask me anything, and the answers that you get will come directly from a video that I've done, and it will kind of push you down the rabbit hole if you're interested in even more depth. So hop over to the website. Appreciate you. West End, what up? Boom. I have an idea for an in-season video. Okay. You do as though you're game planning to play a particular defense with a certain team and what concepts you'd predict to see in the upcoming game. Weston, that is an excellent video. People have suggested different iterations of that. My pushback to that, and maybe, that's a good idea. Let me say this. That's a good idea for like a week 1 video, like before the games have started, for a few reasons. One, because that video would take must be here, a ridiculous amount of fucking work, like a ridiculous amount of work to go back and like prepare to play an NFL game with the level of like volume that would go into that. Now, obviously I wouldn't do like 300 plays, but even like, the Cliff Notes version of like what I would attack, how I would do it versus the normal videos that come out on this channel. It's not a disqualifier to say that it's going to be more work. I like the idea. What are some other ideas that I have for videos that I'm going to try to do? I don't have them on the board. I do have maybe 4 or 5 videos that I'm going to try to get to in August that are a little bit, more evergreen-ish versus necessarily like reactionary, watch game, watch film, those types of things. Law, are you excited for the Greg Roman's offense? I am not excited about that. I'm excited for the Chargers to probably win more. Yeah, I don't know. The first time I see the Greg Roman concept, I call the Greg Roman a must outside release go and like a quick out in the slot, like a 5-yard out. And when they run it mirrored, man, it just kills my soul. It really does kill my soul. D_182. Who would you put your money on as the week 1 starter for the Raiders? Minshew is the favorite by 200. I know the answer to this. I don't know what the money is, but like whoever gets paid the most is probably going to be the week 1 starter. And I'm assuming that your boy AOC is on his rookie deal, so he probably not. Luke Walsh, morning. We're winding down here, guys. We were in and out today. This was strictly to kind of say hello and say goodbye for the month, and just kind of let people know that I haven't fallen off the edge of the earth when you don't hear from me the rest of the month. If you're interested in any content, full game stuff will be over at the Quarterback School Patreon community. See what we got here as a couple people check in right as I'm about to check out. Jace Moss. Hey, I've been watching your videos passively for the last few months, but I wanted to know if there was a specific place video to start if I wanted to just pick up on what I'm seeing live on TV faster. I think I might have a video that's like, welcome to the channel. If you search the channel, like, I don't know what exactly the topic is, but there's something like that, like start here type video. I'm not sure that's really going to help you that much, but there are a couple, I was going to say the coverage courses, but I get my thing with that. It's a good question. It's a good idea for a video if I don't have one. My thing about it is I enjoy helping people feel like they watch the game or can appreciate the game in a deeper, more nuanced level. But it's hard for me to say, like, hey, when you're watching the game, do this, do that. I think the easy way to know that you're starting to watch the game at a higher level is to be able to watch the game and not watch the ball. Now, that is very difficult to do at a broadcast version of watching football because the screen is obviously cropped for you to watch the ball. But I think as you get a deeper understanding of it, maybe you feel yourself drift away from the ball during the replays. Like you watch the ball, and then if you know it's a run, maybe you watch the front side blocking. What kind of run was it? If it's pass protection, maybe you watch where the center goes to be able to determine what the slide or the pass protection was. If it's a play down the field, maybe you try to see the safeties to see if you can kind of tell what the coverage was potentially. If it's down in distance, maybe you can guess, hey, if it's third and long, we're anticipating this. If it's third and short, you're probably going to get some iteration of man pressure, that type of stuff. That's it. Appreciate all the Padre fans checking in as well. Hopefully we have an excellent summer. I will see you guys back in August. A bunch of stuff. We will be geeked up, fired up. The next time you see me here, it will be football season, y'all. We're back at it. Very fired up. Thank you so much for hanging out a little bit. Enjoy your month, and I will see you on the other side.